then we can start. So, who will read today? Pallavi or Tarika, any one of them?
I'll read Rangada.
Yes, you can. Read the para.
He is, besides the supreme without qualities, who is possessed of all qualities, Nirguna Guni. Is not bound by any mode of nature or action, nor consists, as our personality consists, of a sum of qualities, modes of nature, characteristic operations of the mental, moral, emotional, vital, physical being, but is the source of all modes and qualities, capable of developing any he wills in whatever way and to whatever degree he wills. He is the infinite being of which there are ways of becoming, the immeasurable quantity and unbound ineffable of which they are measures, numbers, and figures, which they seem to rhythmize and arithmize in the standards of the universe. Yet, neither is he merely an impersonal indeterminate, nor a mere stuff of conscious existence for all determinations and personalization, to draw upon for their material, but a supreme being, the one original conscious existent, the perfect personality capable of all relations, even to the most human, concrete, and intimate. For he is friend, comrade, lover, playmate, guide, teacher, master, ministrant of knowledge, or ministrant of joy, yet in all relations, unbound, free, and absolute. This too, the divinized man becomes in the measure of his attainment, impersonal in his personality, unbound by quality or action, even when maintaining the most personal and intimate relations with men, un- unbound by any dharma, even when following in appearance this or that dharma. Neither the dynamism of the kinetic man, nor the actionless light of the ascetic or quietist, neither the vehement personality of the man of action, nor the indifferent impersonality of the philosophic sage is the complete divine ideal. These are the two conflicting standards of the man of this world, and the ascetic or the quietist philosopher, one immersed in the action of the Akshara, the other striving to dwell entirely in the peace of the Akshara. But the complete divine ideal proceeds from the nature of Purushottama, which transcends this conflict and reconciles all divine possibilities.
Okay, so he is talking first of the supreme. He has spoken about the supreme with gunas. Okay, that means the personal aspect of the divine. He has a form, but that form depends on the one who is seeing him. It depends on how you want to approach him. Although God has got form, it's not a fixed form. It depends on what you want to see. If you want the personal aspect of the divine, that's fine, but it's not something fixed. He can take any form he wants. Okay, so that's it. The personal aspect of the divine. Saguna. So now he is saying that he can also be nirguna. That means he can be also the impersonal, okay, without form. He is just spread out everywhere without form. But he is also this. So we'll see what he's saying. It's in a very interesting manner he is talking about. He is, besides what? Besides being personal aspect, the supreme without qualities, who is possessed of all qualities, nirguna guni. He is quoting from the Upanishad. Which Upanishad they is not specifying, but it must be in many places, nirguna guni. He is nirguna, he is impersonal, yet he is personal. He has got no form, yet he can take a form. That's a nirguna guni. Now, he is not,
Rangat,
pardon?
here there is a footnote, Shvetashwara Upanishad.
Oh, they have corrected it. Okay, because mine is the SABCL. That's good. They have, yeah, that's good. They have given also the verse number.
No, only this much.
Oh, acha, acha. Okay,
Shvetashwara Upanishad.
okay. Shvetashvara. Okay, so they must have checked up. Then, he is not, by the way, what we are going to read now, these 10 lines, is exactly what Yasmin asked and we were replying, that there is no absolute rule. The divine is so free that he can make the individual have any experience without any rules. So you can't say exactly what we replied just now, that it's not necessarily that you have to go first into the intraconscient or the subliminal, experience the inner vital, inner mind, inner physical, and then go to the psychic. It's not like that. You can even experience the psychic directly also. Experience, okay, not attain. And if you go to the psychic, automatically the inner being also opens. Okay, it opens. So that's what is the whole 4-5 lines that we are going to read is like that. He is not bound by any mode of nature or action, nor consists, as our personality consists, of a sum of qualities, modes of nature, characteristic operations of the mental, moral, emotional, vital, physical being, but is a source of all modes and qualities, capable of developing any he wills in whatever way and to whatever degree he wills. We'll stop here, although the sentence is still not complete, but we'll stop here. So, one by one, we'll see what he's saying. He is not bound by any mode of nature. Mode of nature, sattva, rajas, tamas, modes of nature. Or action. Okay? He can do any action he wants. Nor consists, as our personality consists. When he says personality with a lowercase p, we have constantly repeated, he refers to the body-mind life. Okay? The outer nature. Okay, as our personality consists of a sum of qualities. Okay, we have got a sum of qualities, not infinite qualities, only a sum. We may be very generous, or we may be very artistic, we may be also very intelligent or non-intelligent. All these are qualities, okay, and modes of our being. So, sum of qualities, limited, modes of nature. Modes of nature, sattva, rajas, tamas. So you may be sattvic, you may be rajasic, you may be tamasic. Okay? But there is one thing. Everybody has got all the 3 modes. It is not that anyone has got only one mode. Everybody has got a body, therefore there is tamas. Everybody has got a vital, therefore there is also energy. And everybody has got a mind which is more or less intelligent. Okay, so all the 3 are there. So these are the modes of nature. Modes of nature here is meaning intelligent, energetic, and active, or the opposites of all these. Non-intelligent, very lazy, and also very not energetic, and also not very active. He is not bound by any mode of nature or action. No, wait 1 minute. We read this just now. He is not bound by any mode of nature or action, nor consists, our personality consists of a sum of qualities, modes of nature, characteristic operations of the mental, moral, emotional, vital, physical being. Each one has got fixed ways of operating. The mind is seeking knowledge, but in its own way. Moral, you are looking for what is good and what is bad. You are trying to have your own values. Emotional, okay. Emotional also can be joyful or sorrowful. You may be very depressed condition, or you may be very happy all the time. Vital, okay. Vital, physical being. There are physical beings. Some are very active and some are not so active. But is a source of all modes and qualities. In other words, his whole description means that he is not fixed. In other words, he is impersonal. He is the seed. He is the seed from which he is the source of all modes and qualities. Being himself impersonal, featureless, he is the source of all features. That's what he's saying. Exactly, if you want to understand this again, picture to yourself this seed. The seed, if you open or even enlarge the seed, you will not see leaves, roots, flowers in it. So it is impersonal in a sense. And it produces all these features. It produces leaves, roots, flowers, trunk, bark, roots, everything. It produces. The one becoming the many. So he is the source. And the source is always indeterminate. And it creates determinations. It is formless and it creates forms. Okay? So he is the source of all modes and qualities, capable of developing any he wills, whatever he wants, he can develop in whatever way and to whatever degree he wills. Very clear, no laws apply to him. Okay? The individual, the way he approaches, will be given exactly the rewards that his nature allows. It depends absolutely on the individual. Okay? He is an infinite being of which there are ways of becoming, of which he is the infinite being, and it creates finite things. Okay? He is the infinite being of which there are the ways of becoming, the immeasurable quantity and unbound, ineffable, that which can't be put into words. In other words, it is inexpressible. So because there are no features, featureless, and immeasurable quantity, huge quantity, no quantity also. But from that impersonal, infinite, formless source, he makes forms and limited things. Now he uses very interesting words for that, of which they are measures, numbers, and figures. So measures coming from the immeasurable, numbers coming from the numberless, and figures coming from the featureless. And now he's using words which he's inventing himself, which they seem to rhythmize and arithmize. So rhythmize, with rhythm you create things. No? It's always rhythm that creates things. The Om is the one starting point of creation. And the Om is a rhythm, it's a sound. So rhythmize means to bring into motion the motionless. That's what it means by rhythmize. To bring into motion the motionless. And arithmize. Arithmize, very simply, the one becoming the many. Arithmetic is a question of numbers. So when he is arithmizing, he is making the one into a many. Okay, that's what it means. So in the standards of the universe, standards fixed and very limited. Yet, when neither is he merely an impersonal indeterminate. Indeterminate means formless. An impersonal indeterminate. He is not only that, nor a mere stuff of conscious existence for all determinations and personalizings to draw upon for their material, but a supreme being. He is also a person. Okay? He is a being. When you say being, it means a conscious being, and that means a person aspect. The one original, conscient, existent. So note that the word existent means the personal aspect. And when you use the word existence, it becomes an impersonal. Which is infinite existence is impersonal. The perfect personality. They are very interesting. Personality is using the word now with a P cap. So what does that mean? That means he can produce all the limited forms. We have said also already that when he speaks of person, it means the true being of man, either the self or the psychic being. And when he says personality, it means your body, mind, life. But here he's saying personality with a P cap. In other words, the forms like body, mind, life, but they are originating there at the highest level. Because he is person as well as personality. He is infinite as well as finite. So the infinite would correspond to the impersonal, and the finite would correspond to the personality. Okay? But here he is combining both. So he can be the infinite and the finite. Capable of all relations, even to the most human, concrete, and intimate. For he is friend, comrade, lover, playmate, guide, teacher, ministrant. That's an interesting word. Ministrant is to minister to somebody, okay, is to dispense okay, to dispense, to serve. Okay. So he is the ministrant of knowledge. He is the one who is dispensing knowledge. Dispensing means giving out, okay, providing, giving, okay, ministrant. But ministrant won't find in the dictionary. You'll find the word minister to. Okay, when you minister to somebody, you are supplying. Okay, you are supplying and you are dispensing things. So from the word minister. So what does the minister do to the Raja or the Prime Minister? They supply information to him. Okay. So minister, ministrant. But here God is the ministrant of knowledge, but he is also the ministrant of joy. He is giving you joy. Yet in all relations, he is unbound. He is completely free and absolute. This too, the divinized man becomes in the measure of his attainment, impersonal in his personality. So you can also become exactly like God. Usually it is the Karma Yoga path that gives you the nature of the divine. The Jnana Yoga path gives you knowledge of the divine. The Bhakti Yoga path gives you intimacy and emotional oneness with the divine. Sayujya, Nepya, Sadharmya. These are the Samipya and Sadharmya. These are the, or Salokya. These are all the different types of attainment, the siddhis. Okay, so attainment, impersonal in personality. That's why Sri Aurobindo says in many letters also, the man who has attained to the self must act impersonally. He must be equal to everybody, not personal. He must be impersonal in his attitude, not bound to anything, unbound by quality or action, even when maintaining the most personal and intimate relations with men, unbound by any dharma, even when following in appearance this or that dharma. Now, the huge issue in India today is the Sanatana dharma. There is some fellows in Tamil Nadu, okay, who are saying that Sanatana dharma has to be eradicated like malaria and cholera. So it's a huge issue now in India. The debate is going on. By the way, this DMK and ADMK, why did they come into existence? It's interesting. I'm going a little out of the way, but there is a justification for that. Because in India, the Brahmins were in the forefront everywhere. In Tamil Nadu, very much so. And the caste system, which was misunderstood, okay, the Brahmins had the monopoly of power, of wealth, and of the action. All industrialists in Tamil Nadu are all coming from Brahmins. Okay? So this gave an inferiority complex to the Shudras and the other classes. So there was a revolt, and that revolt started from EVK, EVR Periyar. He was an intellectual, and he said that all these ideas of caste and all that is absolutely irrational, and the Brahmins have got all sorts of ideas which are not practical at all, and they are all not right. So let's go by reason and rationality. That was the source. And that's why it appealed very much to the other castes, and this Dravidian movement started. And they came into power. In fact, Tamil Nadu was the first state in India to have a non-Congress government after independence. Actually, I remember it frightened me. I said, my God, these fellows have no experience. How will they run a state? Okay, that was the first. But now it is very common. Many states have got non-Congress governments. So that was it. Started with Anna Durai. Anna Durai was very popular, tremendously popular. He is the one who ushered in the first non-Congress government in any state in India. So this dharma is a very interesting word. It is not duty, it is not religion. It is that which dharma comes from the word dhri, as I've said before. Dhri is the root to hold. To hold. Okay? Dharana, you hold something. The word exists even in our Indian languages. No? It is dharo, we say, hold this. Okay, so dhara is holding, not physically but psychologically. You have to hold on to what? To whatever is your standard. If you are a Kshatriya, you have the Kshatriya Dharma. If you are a Brahmin, you have the knowledge Dharma. If you are a Vaishya, you are the Dharma of your is opulence, wealth, okay, business, and variety, enjoyment. And the Dharma of the Shudra is loyalty, service, humility. So these are the dharmas. And dharma is not anything fixed, it goes on varying. But Sanatana Dharma is the one that is applicable everywhere without any limitations. So that's it. So,
Rangat,
yes, tell me.
is it not the other way around that if you have knowledge, then you are a Brahmin? It's not that you are a Brahmin, that's why you have knowledge.
Absolutely. What you're saying is correct because the caste system in India is not hereditary. It is not.
Yes.
In fact, what you're saying is so true. Look at all in the Indian scene, okay? Who were the ones who had got knowledge? Krishna, Rama, Buddha, Janaka. What are they all? They are all God knowers and they are Kshatriyas. They are not Brahmins. It's the other way around, okay?
Yeah.
What about Sri Aurobindo? He was a Vaishya, Ghosh, not a Brahmin. So this is the whole problem that it has been misinterpreted. And that misinterpretation has caused this problem in Tamil Nadu. Okay, absolutely true. The caste system is a deep psychological truth. Okay, and it has nothing to do with heredity. In fact, in the Upanishads, we have a Shudra who is a God knower. Okay, he's a cart puller. He's pulling carts in the Chandogya Upanishad. Okay, so there is also the famous story of Satyakama, if you remember, in one of the Upanishads. The student comes to the guru and says, I would like to have knowledge from you. So he asks him, what is your gotra? Okay, because you always want to know, and that also because then the adhikara is established when you know. So he asks his boy, and the boy says, I don't know what is my gotra. It's a very famous story. Even a movie has been made on this. So he says, I don't know what my gotra is. He says, go and ask your mother. So he goes and asks his mother, and the mother says, look, I am a servant. I go to so many houses to work, and I don't know who is your father. Okay? So he comes back and tells this to his guru. And because he has told the truth, and someone who doesn't know his own father, he is of a very lower caste, psychologically also. But he has the truth, he has the innocence and the truth to tell him that I don't know who my father is. So the guru takes him up immediately and says, a boy who can tell so much truth, so selflessly, he needs to get knowledge. So the idea of caste is absolutely wrongly interpreted even today. Okay, that's the whole problem.
But Rangada, it was not wrong on the guru's part to ask his gotra.
No, I didn't follow exactly your question.
No, was it not wrong on the guru's part to ask for his gotra?
No. That because he wants to know what are the capacities of that child. Huh?
No, but it is not hereditary, no.
In fact, it's a story in the Upanishads, okay, which tells you the point is not whether he asks or not. The point is about the boy being truthful. So maybe you can find a fault with that, but that was the way things operated.
Rangat, I think he was asked who his father was, and he told, I am the son of Jabali. Satyakam
Yeah.
Jabali is the story.
That is another story.
So, Rangada, Satyakam Jabali is the person you're talking of, na? Satyakam.
Yeah.
Satyakam was a film made.
Yeah, another thing from
Yeah.
this story, what I feel is that God knowledge is not closed to anybody who wants knowledge, who seeks knowledge.
Yeah.
That is one point. That
That's-
whether
that's-
he comes from whatever background, X, Y, Z, that is not important. What is important is the person's or the soul's interest in seeking
Exactly.
knowledge.
That is the adhikara. So the guru wants to know how much adhikara is there. That's right. That's just quite clear.
But adhikara is based on what?
On your development from past lives. How much you have developed. So their capacity. Everybody is not equal. Huh? Some are intelligent, some are not intelligent, some are downright unintelligent. So this adhikara is how much your soul has developed so that you are now fit for the knowledge. In fact, this is exactly what the Arjuna's case is. He has developed himself enough to get the knowledge. He is not a spiritual man. He is a very practical man. But he is ready to receive the knowledge. So that's the whole point. Okay?
But
Pardon?
how can the Gotra tell the Guru how capable the man is? Is the Gotra an indication of a person's ability and his intelligence?
Look, these are all the details which I will not be able to answer. And also, the point of the story is, as I said, he is trying to find out the adhikar. Okay? And also, a guru, okay, if he knows your antecedents, he will know also to a certain extent your capacity. Tell me, when people used to come to Sri Aurobindo and Mother, they used to, without asking the Gotra, but that's only the outer form, they used to know. Okay, I'll give you 2-3 cases. Okay, and both of them I knew. One of them I knew very well. In fact, I was a favorite of him.
One minute. He was not asked his Gotra, he was asked about his family. And the mother tells, just go and tell your Guru that I just checked in the Google also, that you tell him that you are Satyakam Jabali, son of Jabal. He wasn't asked the Gotra, he was asked about the family, which is natural to ask any student to know about his family.
As far as I remember, when I read the Upanishad, the word Gotra is used. But I will check it out. Okay, I will check it out. I'll see whether I can locate it. So, and then we'll get back to it. I'll let you know. But then, what I was telling you, Mother and student are seeing the person, and by sight, they know their capacity. I'll give you 2 instances. Okay. One was Rajangam. Rajangam was a young boy of 20, and many of you may have seen him. Pallavi may have seen him. Okay.
Laboratory, no?
No. He used to live in the ashram on the staircase, prosperity staircase. He used to live there. Yeah. So he was Rajangam, and he was a 20-year-old medical student. He finished his MBBS, and he wanted to come to the ashram. And when he applied, Sri Aurobindo, when he saw him, he said, yoke him. Put the yoke on him and bring him here. Very strong words, okay? Then Kanaida. Rajangam, I used to see him and I know him, but I didn't know him personally. But Kanaida was our French teacher. Okay? And he was, when Mother saw him and said, Sri Aurobindo told him, your soul has come from a very high plane. Very high plane, he told him. It's there in Breath of Grace, that book. Okay? Which is Mother Pandit had published that book. Breath of Grace. So, they can know immediately. So, maybe this Guru was at a slightly lower level or whatever, but that's unimportant. It's not an important question at all. So, these questions do come up in the mind, but the whole point of the story is that spiritual knowledge is not limited only to the Brahmins. It can come to anybody who is living. The whole problem is that it has become hereditary. That's the whole problem. I gave you so many examples of brothers who are not Brahmins. And what Pallavi said is absolutely correct. It's the other way around. The one who is a God knower is a Brahmin by definition. It's the other way around. It's not hereditary at all. It has been turned upside down. So, one whose nature is that of service, one who is very humble, one who wants to serve others, that's the characteristics of the Shudra is there in him. He is not aspiring for anything very great. Okay? He only wants to be kind and serve people. Loyalty, humility, service. That's the whole idea. But it has been turned upside down altogether. So, anyway, let's come back to our text. It's an interesting question. Okay. So, neither the dynamism of the kinetic man, I'm reading the text now. I've come back to the text. But Archanati, I'll check that word. Okay. So, as far as I remember, the word Gotra was used. But I'll have to check that. I'll have to see where it is. There is this inventor of the what is that thing he has made? I forget the name, but he's a programmer, he's a computer expert in Delhi. Incarnate word, he's the one who has done that. Okay? So he's so good at computers that whenever I ask him to locate one Sanskrit shloka or whatever, he immediately does it, he answers. So I'll find out and let you know. If I have to look, I'll have to look all over. Of course, I can do a search also, but I'll find out. It's worth, because you have raised the question, we'll look into it. It needs clarification. I'll do that. Neither the dynamism of the kinetic man nor the actionless light of the ascetic or quietist, neither the vehement personality of the man of action nor the indifferent impersonality of the philosophic sage is a complete divine idea. You have to have both. That's what he said. You must have the calmness of the ascetic and you must have the action of the kinetic. These are the two conflicting standards of the man of this world and the ascetic of the quietistic philosopher. One immersed in the action of the Akshara, the other striving to dwell entirely in the peace of the Akshara. But the complete divine ideal proceeds from the nature of the Purushottama, which transcends this conflict and reconciles all divine possibilities. This is the Gita's solution and also Srimdo's solution. That the lowest level, 3 levels. Level 1, the one of ignorance and the many. Okay? And there it is a Kshara Purusha. Kshara Purusha is a psychic being which is developing. Okay? The divine in you who is developing through many lives with the experiences of the world. Then your consciousness comes out and goes into level 2 of the spiritual planes of consciousness where there is no evolution. There is immutability. And in there, then your consciousness becomes static and it becomes the self, the nirvana, the Brahmic consciousness, the Atman. You are infinite, immutable, and you are absolutely in a static condition. You are just watching, full consciousness, but no action. But they are opposites. So the Gita says, go to the 3rd level, the Purushottama. Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha, Uttama Purusha. And there you can reverse the order. Purushottama. Okay? This is what Srimdo also wants. You must be capable of living in the physical world with full action, but without being involved in the action. You must remain a witness and you become the instrument of the divine. He manipulates you like a puppet. But that which is the idea of being a puppet to somebody else is absolutely abhorrent to the Westerners. But it is the happiest condition that you can be. You are, when you think that you are free and you are acting on your own, you are in total ignorance. When you know that the divine is guiding you and you are a slave to the divine, you are really free. It's very contradictory, but that's the truth. You become the happiest man can be a slave to God. Slave is a very strong word, but I'm purposely using that to give a shock. So when you are dependent on the divine, you are a slave. You do whatever he wants you to do. That's the 8:34. We have 6 minutes, so we can read the next para. Maybe we can't discuss it, but we'll read the next. The kinetic man. Okay, so Tarika, would you like to read?
Yeah, Ranganath.
Go ahead, read the kinetic man.
The kinetic man is not satisfied with any ideal which does not depend upon the fulfillment of this cosmic nature. Display of the 3 qualities of that nature, this human activity of mind and heart and body. The highest fulfillment of that activity, he might say, is my idea of human perfection, of the divine possibility in man. Some ideal that satisfies the intellect, the heart, the moral being, some ideal of our human nature in its action can alone satisfy the human being. He must have something that he can seek in the workings of his mind and life and body. For that is his nature, his dharma, And how can he be fulfilled in something outside his nature? For to his nature, each being is bound, and within it he must seek for his perfection. According to our human nature, must according to our human nature must be our human perfection, and each man must strive for it according to the line of his personality, his swadharma, but in life, in action, not outside life and action. Yes, there is a truth in that, replies the Gita. The fulfillment of God in man, the play of the divine in life, is part of the ideal perfection. But if you seek it only in the external, in life, in the principle of action, you will never find it. For you will then not only act according to your nature, which is in itself a rule of perfection, but you will be, and this is a rule of the imperfection, eternally subject to its modes, its dualities of liking and dislike, pain and pleasure, and especially to the Rajasic mode with its principle of desire and its snare of wrath and grief and longing, the restless, all devouring principle of desire, the insatiable fire which besieges your worldly action, the eternal enemy of knowledge by which it is covered over here in your nature, as is a fire by smoke or a mirror by dust, and which you must slay in order to live in the calm, clear, luminous truth of the Spirit. The senses, mind, and intellect are the seat of this eternal cause of imperfection, and yet it is within this sense, mind, and intellect, this play of the lower nature, that you would limit your search for perfection. The effort is vain. The kinetic side of your nature must first seek to add to itself the quietistic. You must uplift yourself beyond this lower nature to that which is above the three gunas, that which is founded in the highest principle in the soul. Only when you have attained to peace of soul can you become capable of a free and divine action.
It's a very interesting paragraph where simply he is interpreting the Gita. That fire by smoke and mirror of dust is all in the third chapter, verse 37, 40. Okay, so we'll look at that. We'll see what she's saying next time. It's already, we've got only 2 minutes left. We have read the paragraph. We'll redo it next time. Okay? And yes, I have a little homework to do about the Satyakama story. So we'll have to see that. Okay.
Okay. Au revoir,
Merci
Ranganath.
beaucoup.
Bonne journée.
Bonne
Au revoir.
journée.
Thank you, Ranganath.
Yes.
Au revoir, Ranganath.
Au revoir, everybody. Have a nice day.